What's up, guys? It's Jason for this week's report, or VR report. I guess we'll start with updates with rejuvenation videos. Yesterday, or 2 days, last night I uploaded the review that Cameron and I did for Halo Top Ice Cream. So that's out. I think it's pretty good, but that's a biased opinion. In terms of Re60 updates, nothing yet. I'm going to Puerto Rico next week, so hopefully I'll get some cool footage of different places that we go to for that. And let's just get started with the VR news from this week. I've got 5 things on the list. A lot of it's developer focused. I guess some of it's towards consumers. So the first thing on my list is that VR tilt brush. The Google application is now available on Oculus. I don't have either one of them, but let's see what we got. Yeah, so it's available on Oculus. So I don't own either one of the devices, but I think it just shows Google's initiative to really reach out to more consumers rather than just their own Daydream platform, especially with the higher end HMDs like Oculus Rift and HTC Vive. Hopefully we get something for the PlayStation VR. We're still kind of waiting on a little bit more support for that platform. It'd be cool, especially with the Move controllers, to be able to do that. Oh, so it's also coming out for the HTC Vive, and it will cost $30, which is not bad for a VR experience. And I think it has longevity to it, especially if you have artistic talents, unlike myself. So speaking of Google, I guess sort of announced that at their Daydream Labs that they are experimenting with new technology to detect face when you're in a VR headset. Hopefully I'll try to figure out how to put a video on top of a video for the upper corner. But essentially it takes off the blindfold that the VR headsets create, and it shows your face. It kind of looks weird at first, but I guess in the long run, with the push for social VR, it's going to be huge just for facial recognition. I bring it up all the time, but Black Mirror, there's the second episode, I don't know what it's called, but it's about all the people that ride the bikes. They have their own avatars that can react to based off their facial reactions. So it's something like that. When businesses start using social VR for meetings, and even just stuff like therapy, showing empathy, that facial recognition could be huge for I guess the emoji side of VR, which is cool. So they've actually modified, most of their research has been with the HTC Vive, and like the video that they're showing is kind of strange, where it's having like a 3D model of your face, and he's using the mouse to kind of where her eyes are looking. Change her eyes. It's kind of weird looking, but it has cool implications for the future. So hopefully I can try to figure out how to get that uploaded and kind of have a video shown. So I'll save that. So to continue along with the developer theme for this week, SteamVR has, I guess, sort of announced their next generation tracking based system. For those who don't know, it's called Lighthouse. So essentially you could put these trackers anywhere in your room, and it can scale objects in your room and translate it into the VR digital environment. So right now, SteamVR's current base trackers are a dual rotor design, and it's going to a single rotor design which will condense the horizontal and vertical sweeping that they do with the laser technology, which will mean that it's faster processing. The single rotor means that it's going to be lighter, it's going to be more cost efficient, so it'll essentially be cheaper. It's going to use less power, so I mean, part of me wishes I could get an HTC Vive, especially out of all of them, just because it has this room scale technology. Who do I follow? I think it's Upload VR that has a studio where they have a green screen room, and they use the lighthouse technology to kind of detect that. And they make some pretty cool videos just with having the game that they're playing in the background. It's pretty neat stuff. So I think this is cool, especially for being able to scale your room to the digital environment. That's going to be huge, especially for once the headsets become untethered, aka they don't have cords like the PlayStation VR does. Let's see, next on the list is, so last year at E3, Bethesda announced that Fallout 4 would have full VR support for the HTC Vive. So Bethesda kind of announced a little bit more about it, so it's going to be completely compatible with the whole game. It's going to be an entirely new game for purchase, so it's not going to be part of the season pass, which I think it's smart, because when you think about even just video game development, it takes a lot of resources to make a game, whether it's time, people, or technology. So I think it's very good, very beneficial of Bethesda to be doing that, to gain some more money, especially because monetization in VR is very difficult to get. So they're playing their cards right, and I think in terms of the scope of the VR industry in video games, this is huge. It shows the potential of these huge open world first person games that can be transformed into the VR landscape, which is exciting. There have been many not controversy, but I guess talks about how Bethesda can really innovate themselves, just because, Fallout 3 was a great game, or Fallout 4 was a great game, but it was just a prettier Fallout 3. So I think, and because they don't have a new Elder Scrolls planned yet, I don't even think they said it's in production yet. I think VR is going to be a huge way for them to reinvent themselves. I think this is going to be a great learning experience for them as pioneers in the VR space for video games. And then my final thing on the list is that Oculus Exec warns developers about not going all in on VR right now. I think this is pretty... Oh, Samuel Jackson's talking. I think it's pretty straightforward of why they would advise this, is because you don't want to throw all of your assets and resources into VR production, because quite frankly, I don't know how many VR studios have really made a profit off of their content. It's just smart advice to take. I think I've said it before about monetization in content. People are still figuring out how to exactly make money. A lot of the VR experiences are in the $20, $30 range, and because consumer adoption is not very high, I'd have to go through different reports to see how much profits people are making based off their fiscal quarters. I think the NBA is going to be huge, just to see if they end up benefiting from that, from the a la carte. So it's going to be pretty interesting just to see how 2017, 2018, 2019, how I guess the business plans will evolve for these VR studios. So yeah, it's exciting. So yeah, that concludes this week's report. Like I mentioned, I'm going to be out of the state, or out of the mainland next week, so don't know if I will have a report for next week, unless I want to do it on the beach. Maybe I'll do it on the beach. Yeah, I'll probably do it on the beach. That'd be cool. I'll do a report on the beach. Maybe I'll have one of my teammates come on, because I know that he's pretty involved in technology and in VR. He's also working on, I don't know if I should say it yet, but he's working on a rejuvenation app. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah, maybe I'll have him on. And yeah, so if you liked what I was talking about this week, go ahead and subscribe. Like the video, all that YouTube stuff. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat at Rejuvenation, just for more insights. You can follow Re60 for more VR insights. But yeah, have a good weekend.